So it is. Traveling is wild. It's noon. I took a flight from Boston to Reykjavik. That was 5.5 hours. Horrible seat. Horrible seat. And then I had a 2-hour layover in Reykjavik. I would like. Another thing, I don't understand whatever language they speak in Iceland. I had a 2-hour layover in Reykjavik. Now I have a layover that's gonna last another. I have a 7-hour layover, but I pretty much have like 3 hours until I can really check in. And I don't feel like carrying my bags, my heavy bags around outside the airport or trying to. Yeah, it's just weird because I'm like, wow, travel is money. Like I just spent. Travel is expensive. I didn't pay for my second bag, and that ended up being $69. And then I just bought a slice of pizza and a big water for $10. Which, I mean, hey, I'm glad I'm at the point where it's not turning me out money-wise, but, yeah. But the basic plan is to wait here, to hang out for the next 2 or 3 hours. Probably gonna watch an episode or two of something, download a few more podcasts, and then check into my next flight in about 3 hours, because I think that's like the earliest amount of time that you can check in. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to land. 3 flights is a lot, and it's. We're here. Cheers, YouTube. Okay, so it is my first day in France. Officially today. I just woke up 5 minutes ago, threw on some clothes. I mean, I'm not scared to go outside, but I'm like, it looks so beautiful. Like, this cottage is very kind of medieval feeling, lots of cement, lots of archways, lots of ceiling beams, lots of wood. I don't even know how to describe these floors. Just like so outdoor garden areas. Like, are you fucking? I'm gonna get good work done. Like woo! It's like I haven't even left the house yet, but I'm struggling to be like, is this objectively, to me, the most beautiful residency place I've stayed in? So basically, I got in last night after a shit ton of traveling. I traveled from Cleveland to Boston, spent 2 days in Boston, went from Boston to I'm just trying to say it like they said it on the plane. Reykjavik. That was a 5.5-hour flight, had a 2-hour layover, flew from Reykjavik to Copenhagen, had a 7-hour layover, and then flew from Copenhagen to here. And then my residency volunteer named Catherine picked me up, a really nice lady. We both stumbled through our French and English together. I know rudimentary French. I don't really understand. I don't know, maybe just walk around for a while. I think I want to walk around for at least like an hour or two, but we'll see. We'll play it by ear. This is me taking my slow days, so I don't really need to figure out what I want to do today. I'm so glad to be able to document this process. Like, I feel like I'm glad I'm at the point now with vlogging that it doesn't feel extractive. It doesn't feel like something that's like weird for me. I love having this small camera because it makes it way less intimidating. But yeah, I mean, being here where James Baldwin lived, having my books here, having his books on a shelf over here, having this space that I know my friends are going to be able to visit and enjoy and just really soak up. It's just, to me, it's literally mind-blowing. Like, I am so appreciative. Like, I'm looking at a little bench out there and I'm like, I can't wait to get drunk there with my friends. Wow. Yeah. Now there's no one out. And there's all these beautiful side streets and walkways and galleries. Like, okay, first bite of France. See, it is so simple, but it is so good. The flaky pastry, that color, you can hear it. It is nice to be back. I love the way French sounds when I'm walking around. It is strange because I think hearing French a lot more, it is reminding me of my ex. Like, I hear certain phrases that he used to say in his head, and it kind of, I don't know, I guess it does make me miss him. Like, part of me is like, oh, maybe I should reach out to him. The verdict will be out. I definitely walked around and tried to read as many things as I could in French. In botella de botelle de San Pellegrino de me Italien eau minérale naturelle avec jonction de gaz carbonique naturelique mineral water. See, I think I don't even that bottom line was French. But I've been trying to practice my French a little, trying to say it to just people on the street when I'm asking questions. I think I've gotten pretty decent at ordering in French. I went to the pharmacy, got some soap, got some toothpaste, learned the word for soap in French, which is savon. Introduced myself to the man at the pharmacy, and he said, oh, you're practicing French. And I was like, oh my God. So already on that level, I'm just like, bitch, a month here, could I be better if I really practice? What's in the bottom there now? God, this water is so good. Yeah, I feel good. The places are good. I got to walk around a lot earlier. This is so beautiful, especially in the morning. Like, I wonder what it'll be like later in the day. Maybe I'll do another walk around later. There's a really nice cafe near here that has Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi, which is really good. Wow. I've got 2 more for there. so I decided to take a little walk, and I'm going to find the spot where James Baldwin lived here in Saint Paul de Vence. And I'm on this street. It's called Chemin du Pilon, and I'm probably getting really close. I think I'm like within 5 minutes. And I just really wanted to check this out. For those that don't know, La Maison Baldwin is run by someone who tried to work with others to save James Baldwin's house from being bought and turned into a resort spa type situation, and the efforts failed because they weren't able to do that, and now there are condos there instead. But I wanted to go and check it out for myself and see what it's like, breathe in some of the energy, maybe read some of his poetry outside of it. So we're gonna go and check it out. Saw it? I think I saw it. Yeah, I honestly have no clue. I don't. Don't be sad, I know you will.
But don't give up until true love will find you in the end.
Half an hour, so I'm just here chilling, getting work done. I'm not sure where we're gonna get breakfast. I'm gonna have to figure that out, but that's what I'm doing right now. The cottage feels even cozier than it did before, and I'm gonna do a cottage tour. I just haven't tried to yet because I think I wanted to be like 73 questions, but yeah, I feel good. I'm drinking coffee. I need coffee, and yeah, this is my work desk over here. I've never really sat here, so it's kind of nice to... Oh! I never really sat at this desk before, so it's nice to... I moved it around, I got a view of the window. I wish there was a little bit more light in here, but I can handle it. That's for this podcast episode. I'm about 40 minutes in. The overall episode is, I think, like 120 minutes, but I'm gonna only upload an hour and then upload the full version on my Patreon, which is something I should have been doing for a while. I usually upload part 1, part 2, but this is a better way. Back to editing. I have 2 friends from Ohio visiting, and I'm really excited. Earlier today we went to the grocery store. We picked up some groceries. I got some more booze. I've been in here, over in that corner where I set up my new desk. Can you see it? Set up my desk over there. And I edited about 2 or 3 chapters of my book today. I got to chapter 17. In Act 2, it's chapter 16 to 26 roughly, so I'm like 2 chapters into Act 2, and now I'm listening to this month's podcast episode with Mercedes Wallace. I basically edited all of the episode, and I'm listening through it to make sure that it's all good, and yeah, I feel good.
Share, like
Because I feel like that's something that people...
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Most people come here for the day and want to spend the night. But...
Like... near my cottage that has Wi-Fi. I'm about to do my very first interview for my book. It's for a review that's going out in the print version of Publishers Weekly, so I'm basically going to do a quick Q&A. I'm a teeny bit nervous, but mostly I feel ready. I'm just mostly like, I hope this internet service works. To me, it's just really important to develop a language around being Black and deeply politicized in the US and what that looks like and what it feels like. For a little bit of backstory, I met my friends that are visiting here in college, and this most recent friend that you see in the vlog, her name is Samantha, and we met in 2016 while working a political organizing job that we both quit on the same day, and we traveled to Standing Rock together, and she's actually mentioned in my memoir. Okay, so it's currently before 7 a.m. It's June 12th. I've been here for 11 days. Yesterday was fun. I hung out with a bunch of friends, walked around, went to a gallery, watched a movie here, made food, talked. Big convergence of friends, went to another gallery opening that had lots of food, drank lots of alcohol, sobered up partway through, then went back and drank some more, and just had lots of moments of beautiful kind of clarity looking at the scene around me, which is all I can hope for, and I'm really just living in everything that I'm feeling, which is a good feeling.
Okay, how's your experience been so far in St. Paul de Vence?
It's been, I keep saying that people are curious in a friendly way, so I feel like I've met a lot of people that live here or work here and I don't know, just have some kind of relation to like being here way longer than I am, and it's nice to meet people that have that perspective, that just hang out and do the same thing every day or have like a schedule, so I feel like I have something to kind of fall into, and it's a nice place to people watch. It's really nice just to sit literally here, read a book, not really think about anything, notice who I think is cute or not, who's walking by, and hope I see them later. But yeah, and my cottage is nice. I feel like I have a sense of privacy too, which is good. Yeah.
Do you think you've found maybe the magic or the reason why James Baldwin would have stayed here for 17 years? Has any of that sort of resonated with you?
Hard hitters. You're asking the hard hitters. I mean, in a way, I mean, it's strange because I'm like, oh, I'm only here for a month, so I feel like whatever magic or sense of peace that I feel, I guess I get a sense of that, but I'm also just kind of like, 17 years, and I know he traveled a lot, so I feel like that was a part of it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know why he'd stay here for 17 years. I don't know.
Does the setting of the residencies ever affect the settings in your books or the plots in your books, or like how does it affect your writing to be in these different places, if at all? Or do you feel like your stories are more...
The question was, do I feel like the settings of my residencies affect like when I'm writing? I'd say no. In some ways, yes. No, because usually I'm trying to feel what the character is feeling in their scene, and their settings are usually very different. But sometimes there's elements of the place I'm in, like usually like the sounds of like people putting plates away, or the chatter, or when I was in New York, it was like the sounds of the subway, like something about, for me, usually sound in a place and like what the air feels like. Those kind of things can translate, because that's like, part of it is emotional, like the things that you notice or why you notice them. And so I try to bring pieces of the places I'm in, even if it's just a sound, into my scene. And so usually it's like more, I guess, elemental in a way. Yeah. Well, thank you for interviewing me, Vogue, and I'll see you next time.
Like my father. My father did that.
Welcome to France, Nadia. How do you feel?
I love it. The weather's nice. Everything's beautiful. Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
How do you say my name is Nadia in French?
Je m'appelle Nadia.
Oh shit, you remember high school?
Okay. Pretty much.
Welcome to St. Paul de Vence. Here for a residency and we're gonna walk around. This is the ramparts. It's basically like the fortification around the village.
Oh.
In like the 1500s or something. And yeah, this is the entrance. Body. Serving body. Seems strong.
It is.
You're a movie star. I know. I go no movies when I be
This is the better light. Oh yeah, African Queen.
African Queen.
Yeah, we have rosé. What are you popping open first?
Okay.
This must be old, new Nice right here?
Here is Nice, just the center of.
Just the center of Nice?
Alright vlog, it's June 15th. I am in my room. Some updates. I have made a bunch of new friends here in St. Paul de Vence. I might have mentioned this before, but I went to a gallery opening and I met a bunch of artists, and they're all people that grew up here, and one of them in particular, Annabelle, has been really nice. She drove us around a few days ago, took us to the lake, took us to her house. Yesterday, she took me and my friends to Nice to walk around. I got my first kebab sandwich and fries since I've been here. And then we went to the beach and we hung out by the water and just enjoyed the water. The Mediterranean Sea was just so right temperature. And we drank and we sat down and smoked and got pizza for dinner. It was just a very relaxing day, like one of those days where I'm like, I'm gonna imprint this in my mind. I wrote a few poems. Then we came back late. And today's just gonna kind of be a relaxing day. I have another friend here and I have a lot of writing to do. I need to edit some pieces. I need to just out some travel plans for when I leave here in 2 weeks, which is wild. I've been here for 2 weeks. Relax. I kind of want to get a little drunky tonight, so maybe I'll try to find some beers to buy or another good bottle of wine. Honestly, another bottle of red wine would be kind of good. But I feel good. I mean, I think trips like this remind me that there's so much to explore and do and understand and see in life, and there's so many environments to take in, and I'm caught between like being super social and being in new places and just being like just trying to breathe it in. And I feel like I had a lot of that yesterday. And I think on another level, having friends visit a lot is like a lot for me to manage, and I'm doing my best, but giving myself grace and trying to find the boundaries where I need to. So I think today I'm just gonna like do work most of the day, and then hang out in the late afternoon, evening. Is kind of the plan. But I love slow mornings here. I love waking up. I love laying in bed for a little bit. I love taking a shower, and I love sitting down and being greased up, and yeah. Wow. 2 weeks in.
Fusion of self-definition, where immigrant is a layer of identity defined by an accent, cultural stereotypes, and national illusion.
Okay, so right now I'm leaving my cottage and I'm heading to my friend's place to interview her for my podcast. She is a queer filmmaker, and I've spent the morning kind of researching more, adding more interview questions, and I'm excited. And I think today is also Fête de la Musique, music party, which is a party that happens all throughout France on June 21st. I've been to it before, but I wonder what it'll look like here. Day drunk. This is my friend's place here in Sao Paulo, Vence, and look at this. Oh.
The Amazon rainforest comes in.
Put it on the table. Well, my favorite thing to
Imagine an HBCU band coming
Oh,
in.
these white people would be like, I gotta leave. This is too much seasoning for me. Oh my god. Today we're heading to Antibes. My friend who is visiting needs to do some work, and I'm gonna also do some work as well. Antibes is a town near Sao Paulo, Vence. I haven't been to yet, but we're gonna hang out by a restaurant on the beach. Hopefully it doesn't rain. Hopefully I can get some swimming in today. And yeah, I can't believe I only have like a week left here, but I'm having lots of fun, lots of good conversations, lots of, I don't want to say realizations, but just like, oh, this is what I wanted. But we're leaving in about 10 minutes. Joanna, where are we going now?
Cap de Antibes. Cap de Antibes.
Pourquoi?
Pour plage de la Gao.
Gao.
Plage de la Gao. Yo Tango.
Comme tu t'appelles?
My name? You just said Joanna.
I'm having you practice your French. Plage Keller. It's a restaurant right behind me. Me and my friend just had lunch here. My friend's over there working, and I'm enjoying this water. Honestly, with the ocean, or the sea, wherever the fuck we are, I forget how much salt water stinks. Like, my eyes are burning. I'm enjoying this. Down there. I'm every woman. It's all in me. Everything is everything. And eventually, oh. What's your review of this beach?
This beach is perfect. I'm gonna just squat in one of these abandoned businesses or buildings.
Find your husband, your beach husband.
Yeah, my beach husband, fiance, ex-husband,
Ex-husband,
and baby daddy.
He's right over there.
What's your song? Mine was Every Woman. What's yours? Like,
Song. Oh no.
why is it so sad? Why is it sad? Oh my gosh.
This is the day
Yes.
your life will surely change. That's one of my favorites by the Weird Al. Oh, let me see if I look like I can swim. I feel like a dog. If all of you didn't know, I'm terrified of the water, and I almost drowned once in Texas, so I'm always careful when I'm in it.
Oh, baby. I almost drowned once too when I was younger. And then my mom forced me to go to swimming
What
classes.
age?
I was 7.
Oh.
How old are you?
21.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
shit.
just panic in open water. I panic and then I get tired, and then I get quiet, even if I'm with other people, because I'm like, if I'm gonna die, it's not gonna be swimming. So what am I working on right now? Right now, I am doing some final read-throughs of my novel. I am sending it off to my agent literally within the next day or two. This is about to be draft 7, and I changed the beginning around, and I just made another big change in the beginning. Not like a huge change, but it does change it a little bit. Wanted to read through like the first 3 chapters and feel and sense if or how or in what ways they've narrative flow. And so I did that, and now I'm exporting. I'm moving all of my edits into another Scrivener. Oh. And right now I'm moving all of my edits into another Scrivener file so I can export that as its own document. Because I was exporting my novel from a past Scrivener file, and then it just ended up not even getting the page numbers on the new file, so it's kind of weird. Everyone, it's vlog day. I don't know what day the residency is. I have a week left. Everyone that I've had visiting is left.
Day 24.
It's day 24. Everyone I have had visiting has left. And oh my God. I feel free. I feel free. Oh my God. It's like you give so much to the universe and you're like, am I going to get shit back? I don't know. But, I mean, is it an investment that I'm willing to make based on a worthy return? No. I'm just doing it. So it is early. It's maybe before 8 a.m. I slept in as much as I could. I also slept in yesterday. I'm just still kind of tired, but some of the best work mornings, some of the best days are when you're tired, but you want to get your day started. You're excited to see what's out there. And I have some plans for today, and I'll let you know about them later. But for those that don't know, my name is Prince Shakur. I'm a YouTuber, a very soon to be traditionally published author. My first book, a memoir titled When They Tell You to Be Good, comes out October 4th with Tin House Books. I basically describe it as my political coming of age, what radicalized me through Obama's America, Trump's America, during my travels abroad to Standing Rock, France, the Philippines. So it's a big book. It's a big book. It's a hefty book. And I'm super grateful that it's coming out soon. I'm super grateful to be here in France for this residency. And I've had a good time so far. And I want to sit down throughout this video and kind of talk more specifically about just different experiences I've had and why residencies are cool for artists. But right now, we're gonna leave my little cottage because I would just wanna, I don't have Wi-Fi here. I wanna sit down at Café de la Place, order a coffee or two. Their pain au chocolats and their croissants aren't that good, but maybe I'll get one. And I don't know, but it's a good day so far. I really do kind of like the sensation of waking up and just being like, oh my god, I cannot get out of bed. Not like in a like I can't move weight, but just like a I'd rather sleep here for 4 more hours. But I guess it's just my childhood. It taught me to push through. Oh, forget you, little buddy. Okay. I love walking up through here in the morning, especially when guests aren't really here yet, when the tourists aren't here yet, or as I and my friends in Yellowstone affectionately call them, the Tourons. Aren't here yet, tourists and morons. But I'm taking out the trash, and it's little things like this, doing little rituals, doing little errands, that really make me feel like a place is kind of home. Glass broken there, but it wasn't me. Okay. So it's morning here. I have a few days left. It's weird because this is probably the residency that's gone by the quickest. Like, I had friends visiting for about 2.5 weeks. Honestly, I should take another point in this video to explain why that was so stressful, but I had friends visiting for 2.5 weeks. I was hosting people all the time, managing my needs and their needs, and just kind of trying to, like, do it. But it was stressful, and my last friend left 2 days ago, and that leaves me like a week total here at the end to have fully alone. And honestly, it's been really nice just like drinking wine when I want to, staying up as late as I want, just literally not having to consider anyone else's needs. And even like a night or two ago, I was hanging out alone in the cottage and I heard music and I went out and I saw some of my friends attending this music event nearby, and then I went and had some champagne and danced and got some clips of the white people dancing to American music, and then went to this party. It was a techno show, stayed out till like 4 a.m. And I like nights like that where it's just me, myself, and I find some kind of event or thing to go to that is just random, that's new, and I feel like that's the epitome of why I wanted to travel this summer. Like, I knew I needed some solo travel experiences to kind of just like nourish the self, make you feel confident in a way you haven't felt in a while. Car. I thought I had to go to the ATM, but I don't. So it's just been really good in those ways to have these experiences, and I'm excited for the next month. Like, I think for the past week, I've been stressed about the prospect of probably traveling alone next month, and I've done it before. It's just like money, stressing out about money. Where am I going to crash? What am I going to do? Is this going to be too stressful? And I eventually just released myself to, I want to live slowly and live life. So even, and I think that's the other thing about having friends visit. It's when you have people visiting, you always want to show them things, you want to walk them around, they want to have an itinerary, they want you to have an itinerary. I intended to live slowly this summer, and I have and have not. Like, I've done a good amount of work, I've met new friends, and I think I have lived slowly. It's just like there are ways that I can challenge myself to do it more. Like, theoretically, even today, I could have woken up later. I didn't. But anyway, I'm renting. I'm gonna go to Café de la Place. When I come here, I usually get a coffee, une noisette, which is like a really small espresso. I've honestly never really explored much into their food here other than their sandwiches. So I don't know if I want breakfast. Okay, the real tea is that I shouldn't have come here for croissant. Because their croissants here are cold. Okay. So me and my 2 dry, cold croissants are going back to the cottage. Downloaded a few things, made some thumbnails from some YouTube videos, checked emails. I probably should have done some travel research or booking my travel out of Paris, but I have the next few days to do that. But I'm gonna warm up this stuff, eat a little bit, relax, and then head on to the next thing for the day, which will be fun. We're going to the beach. What's the name of this beach?
I can't remember.
La Cagne de Sumer, I think. It's about a 20 or so minute ride away from where we're staying in St. Paul de Vence. Wasn't that bad. So I'm excited to check this out. Oh, yeah.
It was easier for
Quality or...
Yeah.
Brought 2 beers.
I have cups too.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna hold it up. Hopefully I have it.
Hello everyone, we are at Cagnes-sur-Mer. We are at the beach. We've been here for about an hour or 2. I have my beer, and I want to talk about when you do artist residencies. One of the most important things, which can also be overwhelming, which can also be underwhelming, is how you spend your time. And I feel like when a lot of people do residencies, you expect, I need to do all this work, I need to do all these things, blah, blah, blah. It's important, especially when you work a 9 to 5 and you get this time away. But I think it's also important just to think on a personal level. You have a month away from the things that you usually do. You have time to kind of reprocess, renourish, regenerate. And so thinking about how you spend your time is important. How much sleep are you going to get? How much time are you going to spend eating or buying your groceries or getting meals? Or how much time are you going to spend being social? How are you going to spend time making new work? How are you going to spend time consuming new work? All of these are really, really important and big things, and I think it's important to consider. And just to give you an example, for this residency, I knew that I wanted to come here. I knew I had maybe 2 major tasks. One is to edit the rest of my book and to send it to my agents, which I was pretty much on my way, like mostly done with. And then 2 was just supplementing my online content, supplementing things for TikTok, so posting on TikTok at least every other day, posting on YouTube with my regular schedule, which is about 3 videos a month. My newsletter, I don't really care as much. But yeah, just like knowing that there are certain things that I wanted to backload and backlog, which I've done a good job at. And for me, I've kind of reached a process with, especially YouTube, where I don't need to spend that much time making YouTube videos. 3 a month, I usually have 2 or 3 like in the backlog that I can just kind of pull up. But and so for me, this residency was partially, how do I have slower days? How do I relax? I didn't really meet that goal as much as I wanted to because I invited so many friends here and it was great, but I also didn't really relax as much as I wanted to. And so this last week is kind of me exercising that power. And for me, it's like, I'm proud of myself in terms of how I spent my time here, which is like, I've edited my book, sent that off. I've done research and I've worked towards other projects that are like later in the fall, later in the summer, some craft lectures, other things I have to do. And as far as like emotionally, I've been feeling a lot. I've been processing a lot. I've been talking about a lot of things with various people. And so on that level, I feel nourished in the sense of I'm exchanging things with the world around me as opposed to just observing. And so that's been a good feeling, and that's a way to spend your time. Like spending your time getting to know people, asking questions, learning things, finding new experiences. All of that is worth it as long as you figure out when you need to process, heal, whatever. And so right now I'm in my last week, and I'm kind of just happy to have the next few days to do whatever I want. My birthday's coming up, and then the July travels start, which will be a whole new chapter in its own way, but I'm excited, and that's my update for now. Okay, so I could be done booking my accommodation today, but I'm not. I have to use the bathroom, and I'm gonna go back to another spot with Wi-Fi. Whew, oh my god, and figure out my London travels, because that's really what I want to like hash out today. It feels good to be getting this shit figured out. It feels good to kind of know where my money is. As you can see, my laundry is all drying right now. Shit, this is almost dry. Okay, so I feel good after spending all of that time looking up where I'm staying, and honestly, I'm gonna do like maybe another hour worth of research, because the reason I love travel, the reason I love this shit is that I love going out into the world, having your budget, and being like, I'm gonna figure this shit the fuck out. And so, I mean, I'm not gonna go through everything right now, I'm probably gonna do it later, but I was able to find lodging in most places I looked up for like 20 to 40 a night for like that first 2 weeks of travel, other than like the place in Paris I'm staying with a friend. And so I just love like searching, going to this website, going to this website, going to this website. Like even earlier, I was trying to figure out the cheapest way to fly from to London, and I was looking up, what if I went from Naples to Milan, or Naples to Oublier, or all these other places, and fly from there. And sometimes overthinking it will do you wrong, but for me, doing meticulous research is really helpful. I'm going from here to Paris, taking the train, from Paris to Lyon, and I believe I'm taking a bus, and then from Lyon to Venice, I will be flying. And then from Venice to Naples, I believe I'll be taking a train. And then from Naples to London is what I'm trying to figure out now, because I want to go on a specific day because of the friend that I'm crashing with. And I'm just trying to find like basically tickets that aren't too far off from when I have to check out of my hostel in Venice on the 15th. When you're solo traveling, for me, the most stressful part is figuring out where you're staying by yourself, and then also just carrying bags and shit. Like, I'm not that kind of a bitch to buy like a nice bag that's gonna be really easy to, like, I'm buying a duffel bag off of Amazon. Oh wow. Keep a note in my app, in my notes app, where I have all of the basic travel info, what times I'm leaving places, when I'm landing, the names of the places that I'm going. Another thing that's helpful is to look up how far where you're staying is from where you're arriving, because I've known a lot of the times I've traveled, I'm like, oh, it can't be that far, or maybe it's a train right away or a bus right away, but depending on the time of day, public transit might not run, or it might not be as frequent. Uber and shit might be kind of difficult to get based on your data. And I'll tell you one thing, during this trip, my cell phone data is booty, so I'm also curious to see how that works out in the rest of Europe. But I'm excited. I'm excited to be seeing a little bit more. I'm excited to be going back to Paris to see some friends. I'm excited to go to Lyon. It's just a very quintessential place that I remember from my first trip to Paris. That's my update for now. This walk I wanted to go on is closed. But is it really closed? Am I an idiot? Why did that say it's closed? I'm like, is there like a naked man somewhere that I don't know about? But I'm looking. And there's honestly no one else here. So I think it is time for me to reflect. I have a day and a half left here. It's wild to think about the fact that this whole experience is almost over. My birthday's tomorrow. I turn 28. That doesn't feel like as big of a deal as I used to think it would be, but it's just wild. It's wild. And I was just looking through my Instagram story like I usually do around my birthday time and reposting different things from over the past year, and it's even wilder to realize, like, in 1 year you can experience so much. Like, in the last year I went to 2 residencies, I made new friends, I dropped other friends, I came back to Ohio distraught. I had my friends help celebrate my birthday with me back in Ohio. I was managing and processing, trying to get a new agent. I got a book deal, had to wait to make the book announcement, started doing edits on my book. Had COVID over Christmas, went to LA, went to Mexico earlier in the summer last year. There are so many things that I've done this past year that I really didn't imagine, didn't know that I would end up doing, and I'm feeling a lot of gratitude, a lot of gratefulness. Like, I feel like I want to cry. I feel like I want to cry because I realize, like, I'm here living this life, and I get to have these moments where I get to slow down and reflect and to be grateful and to cherish, like, all of the effort that I've put in and the kinds of friends that I have and the energy that I try to have around me. And even being here, like, I'm reappreciating how it's allowing me to recontextualize my feelings about double consciousness and how that shifts and changes based on where you are in the world. I mean, another one of my goals for this summer was to have slower days, and I think that was maybe some of the stress of having friends visit so much, is that I was, like, trying to get work done and also trying to help manage their time somewhat. And even today, I just went on this walk, and I thought it was going to be this long walk. Not like a long walk, but like, oh, it's going to be a half an hour. But the walk is literally just from the end of the village around the outside to this spot here that but I'm grateful to be here. Just wanted a moment to reflect. My birthday's tomorrow. Get ready. All right, hello everyone. It's my 28th birthday. Woo! Applause, applause, applause. It's my birthday. I have spent today relaxing so far, but I want to kind of start getting ready. So I'm going to take you through my getting ready process, maybe take you through what I'm going to be doing later, and just talk about what birthdays mean and are to me, because I do think it is an interesting topic for a lot of people, like how you celebrate your birthday, why. I'm grateful to be here in France. I'm grateful to be here at this residency. I leave tomorrow. I'm leaving so soon. What time is it? Okay, well, we're gonna get ready soon. In the plaza by my house. And today I turned 28. To me, it's wild how our perspective on aging changes. Maybe I should watch Twilight while I'm for 12 minutes. Okay. I should probably put that umbrella up outside. Like, why not? Okay, so it is crunch time. I have about an hour until I'm going to the train. And it was one of those nights where you're just kind of like, let's just say things got, let's just say I started my hot boy summer. It wasn't the hottest experience, but it's me taking baby steps, so. So it is time to leave Saint-Paul de Vence. I honestly can't believe I'm saying it, because I'm like, I just got here. I don't know, it feels like I've been here for a month, but it also feels like I've been here for not a month, which is, to me, kind of unsettling. I had a great time. I made some friends. I got to go out. I got to see shit. I got to really feel like I wasn't just being a tourist totally, and that I was meeting people that live here and they're friends that I'm going to keep for the future. So that is like always my favorite part of traveling. Amazed at myself for packing as much as I have, because and maybe I shouldn't wear this shirt. I feel like it's gonna be hot. Well, it's time for me to pack up and to go. I am so grateful for this experience. I'm so grateful to have met so many amazing people here, friends that I'm gonna keep up with. I feel nauseous. I feel grateful. I just need to start moving this stuff out because I have 30 minutes and I just want to like have like 10 or 15 minutes of sitting up there and chilling. So update, I'm in Paris. I'm staying in a random friend's place. And I'm here just for one night. It's so bright. I'm just trying to get this clip in. I'm here just for one night. I feel really relaxed. I got a good night of sleep. I ate food yesterday. I'm not hungover anymore. And I'm excited because the area I'm staying in is pretty central. And I'm moving to another place today, but I love Paris. So I am walking home. It's probably too windy for you to hear this, but I am walking home, and it's almost indescribable to describe how I feel. I feel grateful, I feel good, I feel I could cry. I wish it's one of those evenings where I'm like, I wish other people could experience this, but I guess why am I wishing for other people to experience it when I'm experiencing it? Like, can that be enough, I guess? I think that's the survivor's guilt. Gotta get your B-roll. So we're currently at a market, and there's lots of books and other things, and they have a lot of these markets around Paris. Market, I don't know where we are. It's near or in Saint-Germain-des-Prés. And I've been to a few of these markets before. They usually sell like books, trinkets, bags, anything you kind of would really need for your house. So it's a really good place to check out if you're in Paris. Check out some markets and buy some souvenirs. So I'm currently trying to pick some wine, and I don't have the wine opener, but this is what I think I'm gonna get. I left my friend's house, and we're not far from the Garden Luxembourg, so I'm gonna head there and see. I bought some wine. I don't have a wine opener, but I still want to go there and hang out and relax and maybe do some writing. We just got to Jardin de Luxembourg. And I honestly can't remember if or when I've been here before. Like, I think I have, but I'm not really sure. We're not in the Garden of Luxembourg. We're in the Garden of Plants. Thought this was the right place. Let's keep walking. perspective of Paris because my ex obviously, I mean, not obviously, but my ex lived in a suburb and he didn't really like going into Paris. And so it's really, really interesting and good. We're back at where I'm staying, and I just feel kind of like poop because everything I planned today didn't go out how I planned, but those are the days I also like. But I'm gonna go back upstairs, drop off some stuff, get a wine bottle opener, go back out, and figure out if I can actually meet up with a friend who is in Paris until tomorrow, but he's staying near the airport, so it's kind of complicated because I don't have Wi-Fi. That's the kind of exercise I need. I am in Jardin de Luxembourg in Paris, and here's my book. It's coming out in October, and I kind of want to start this tradition where as many places as I go this month, I want to read passages from this book, or at least like have it with me, look at it, read it. So I'll read a passage right now. Okay. So here's a section from the Paris chapter when I visit Paris for the first time in 2016. The crowd all around us lurched as Ben grabbed onto my arm and pulled me away. We wandered the madness and the same delirium as everyone else that had shown up that day, wandering down an alleyway to make a turn, and be met with a dead end, backing away as scuffles broke out, or climbing telephone poles to get a better view. People in black tagged buildings with spray paint used broken handrails to smash ATM screens and lobbed rocks at storefront windows. Behind us, French police swung their batons at fallen protesters or beat them up against their shields. A woman in a white scarf went down from an officer's swing and then was sucked through the police line by her legs as she screamed. I ran faster to catch up with Ben. A gaggle of us reached a side street. I stopped, grateful to have a moment to breathe and cursing myself for forgetting my inhaler. I coughed and wiped the sweat from my face. Opened my mouth to him that I'd never seen anyone be yanked behind a police line like that when Ben grabbed my hand. He jerked hard and whipped me backwards. I gasped from the shock as my feet caught up, and a loud metal crunch rose up behind me. The police had pulled up a barricade to block the path that Ben pulled me away from. Someone else grabbed a metal pole and slammed it into a car's windshield, sending the alarms blare down the alleyway. The chaos of the images from Freddie Gray's protests in the last year flooded my mind, and suddenly connected with the images right in front of me. All of the speeches and discussions I'd listened to while scrubbing toilets and fixing beds spoke and told my thumping heart this was not the only wreckage that I would see. Soon it was the throngs of people spilling out of side streets into main streets with nowhere to use the bathroom or sit down or close their eyes. Yeah, that's from Nuit Debout in 2016. That was my first time here. That was maybe my second week, and it was my first protest, my first riot, which is wild. Just visited the Louvre. I have been there before. I didn't want to go in. I don't want to walk around there, sit around, because I feel like there's a bunch of people robbing each other. So I'm going to keep on walking and head towards this thrift store. But it's just nice to walk around a city and to just stop in a place and just sit and watch for a while. And I feel like Paris is a really good city to do that, and that's why I love this city and what I've seen so far. I used to take this walk literally every day for 3 months, lived here, stayed here, walking to the place that I lived. I remember the walk here by memory. So it's wild. It's wild that there's a lot of construction. Like outside of the Sunny station, there used to be people selling stuff, selling shed sandwiches, selling things for like a little market. Now it's all basically under construction, and there's a tram line that usually runs through here, and that is all under construction too. So it's way harder to get around. Even though relationships end and you might not talk to people, it's important to have your closure, say goodbye in your own way. And so I just wanted to see this place that mattered so much to me 6 years ago, that propelled me in my life, this relationship, this experience, and just sit in it and breathe. I'm at this store called Girisol. There's a few of them in Paris. This is one that I used to go to all the time because they have really good men's clothes. And it's in this area that has a lot of migrants, refugees, so it's a lot cheaper. So let's go in and check it out. Ooh, this is kind of nice. At another restaurant. Tell me why when you're traveling your things always break. The backpack, the strap on my last backpack broke. So then I went to Decathlon, which is a really good sports store, bought this bag for €10, which is actually a really good deal because it's a lot better quality than the one that I had, and it's cheaper, and it has better straps on it. It has the same amount of storage basically. And now I'm at this cafe restaurant called Les Amis, and I'm waiting to meet up with a friend in a little bit. Brown, it's somewhere on the East Coast.
I think,
Yeah, somewhere on the East Coast. I can't remember. Solo travel is important because it gives you a chance to sit down, to breathe, to think about the things that you want day by day. And I really believe this. I think double consciousness is something that most people experience, but especially Black people experience it more. And so for me, when I travel, especially solo traveling right now, I seldom have days in the U.S. where I'm living where I'm thinking like, oh, I shouldn't, like, I don't need really to hang out with anyone, I don't really need to do anything. Like, I'm always on my to-do list, my schedule, things I need to do. And here it's nice because we're not just here, but in the mode of traveling solo, you can have a whole day where you're like, I want to do 2 or 3 things, and that can take up your whole day, or can take up most of your day. In the afternoon, unless you're trying to pack your evenings or trying to go to all these events, which I'm not necessarily trying to do when I travel, you get to relax. You get to sit and look at the water and think and breathe and reconnect with yourself. And I think I've also been trying to draw connections between how I've been thinking a lot about what it means to be an empath or a highly sensitive person, and also what it means to be aware of double consciousness, and what it means to want to be out in the world in ways that are dynamic. And I feel like I'm connecting these 2 ideas where last night I was thinking about the fact that, or like over the past few days I've just been thinking about the fact that travel compels me to romanticize other people's lives, but I think my ultimate goal is to romanticize my life. And I feel like solo travel allows me to do that, and it's something that I want to practice more during solo travel, but just in my everyday life, like doing random things, checking out my city, trying new things whenever I want to. And to me, also living in a bigger city allows that opportunity, allows that possibility, and that's something that I really want. So that's just a rumination for now.
Ça, c'est le truc. Je pense que l'année dernière, il y a eu un plaquage qui jamais été fait.
Alright, right now I'm doing my favorite thing to do here once again. I'm in a park. I think it's called like Park Elie Wiesel, and it's near Place Republique. I'm deciding whether or not to go to this gallery or show opening. It's happening in about an hour. Been traveling is rereading my own book, and I've been rereading it for a couple of reasons. One is to kind of prepare for interview season for the book coming out, for whatever may happen when people are asking me questions about it, and I'm basically just refreshing myself with my own project, because when you write a whole book, sometimes you can open up the book and be like, where is that part of the book, or what was I thinking, or whatever. And so rereading it is really making me excited, because I realize like how much editing has helped it and how rearranging the chapters has helped it. Like, just even for me reading section 3 to section 4, like I realize that section 3 ends with me kind of confronting my queerness and adulthood and leaving on this note of being a traveler in America's rearview mirror. Then section 4, and all of section 4 is basically about my relationship with double consciousness and travel. And so it's just interesting and beautiful to reread my own work and realize like, oh, there are contextual and thematic things that I'm exploring that are in the book on a structural level. I just want to be able to honor the world of my book in the best way possible, and I think part of that is rereading it and knowing it really well. And part of me, like, I feel like I should be taking notes somewhere in here, and maybe I will like have a piece of paper where I write down different notes. God, there's a pigeon staring. Okay, it flew away. But I feel good, like, rereading it, I'm like, I wrote this? So, October 4th, pre-order now. It's so funny that Paris has all these different islands here, because I was walking up one island expecting to be able to just cross and get to where I'm staying. Then I realized I'm on an island, I have to find the bridge, so I found the bridge. And now I'm walking back, and this is the view. This month of travel, but I'm really grateful, I'm feeling good. I kind of wish I had more to do tonight, but I'm also using it as motivation for the rest of the trip, where I'm kind of like, I want to romanticize my life. As for right now, the travel Paris diaries are done. I'm gonna head home. I'm gonna figure out what I want to do the rest of the night, and you're not invited. So if I had to describe this breakfast, this quiche is pretty good. It's leeks, so it's all vegetarian. It's warm. You can tell the crust is good. Oh my god. And it's just like, it's just light enough. And I had one of the pain au chocolat, and that was really good, very flaky. Okay, behind me is Sacré-Cœur. It's a very, very important monument. It's a cathedral here in France, in Paris.
Oh non, 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 Maudit, fais pas ça si quelqu'un se le prend dans les jambes.
Okay, currently we're at Place République. This is a big square in the center of Paris where, from my understanding, there's been a lot of social movements that have originated from here, use this as a public space. When I came in 2016, Place République was kind of the center of the Nuit Debout movement, which was a big labor movement in 2016. And then for other May Days I've been to here, things have also happened here. But now it's a lot of skaters, a lot of people hanging out, reading, doing whatever they want during the middle of the day. So it's a pretty cool spot to check out. So I'm not going to vlog much while I'm here, but we're in Lyon. I'm only here for another day. I got here yesterday. Yesterday I landed in, I went to my hostel, and then I met this girl in my hostel room. She invited me out to meet up with a friend that she made. It ended up being this drunk guy that walked us around, and it was very strange, bizarre. But my goal for Lyon is to be the most friendly version of myself. So over breakfast I met a guy named Angel, who is a student and he's traveling, and he's going on a walking tour, and I asked could I come, and so I'm going on a walking tour with him, and we're waiting for the bus. So yeah, I've never done an official walking tour of a place that I've visited, so it'll be a new experience. Which is Old Lyon, an older part of the city. And this street is a little bit more local. Some cool spots were pointed out to us that you can eat at and drink at. Ooh.
This is the sound of really important famous people that were born here.
It's a very beautiful pedestrian bridge over La Sonde, which I think is the name of this body of water. And I think this is heading into Lyon, so Old Lyon.
And the two next to Cathedral Saint-Jean. And then
Yeah.
they caught it when I was in Ohio.
We're in a park in Lyon, and what's the name of this park? Le Tête d'Eau, I think. And there's a zoo here. You can actually take a train to the zoo. But me and my friend have some wine. We're gonna sit down. It's just B-roll. And it's gonna be text. What? So as you can see, right behind me are the botanical gardens here. Me and my friend have been walking around for a while. We drank some wine earlier, talked, and I think we're gonna go and check it out, maybe see if it costs money, see if we wanna go inside. But this park is really cool. I was just reading that it's 23 acres and that it was built in the 1800s, and I believe it was first built as a English food park, which I don't really understand. But it's really beautiful. There are lots of gardens all around, places that you can sit, all kinds of gardens and flora around, and it's really cool because you can tell that a lot of different kinds of people come here to hang out, and these botanical gardens are beautiful. I'm always jealous when I have someone that actually knows how to work a camera, because I'm like, thank you, thank you. Oh my god. We're in the botanical botanical gardens, and it's really beautiful. It's very quiet. There's all these trees and little signs that explain to you what these things are around. Oh wow. I wonder if that's like a catfish. Okay.
To the animals. The zoo in San Diego isn't even called a zoo, it's called a safari park because it's just like miles and miles of open space that you can like drive through on a tram.
Yeah.
And the animals just like live free.
Wow. Oh my god. I'm like, have I ever seen a giraffe in person? I don't know.
Really?
I honestly can't remember.
Zoo in Cleveland, but I like the Pittsburgh.
Have you been to Cleveland?
Yeah.
Ah. Okay, so I'm leaving the park. I said goodbye to my friend, and one thing I'm realizing about traveling solo is exactly why I love it, is that you have the opportunity to meet so many different kinds of people with different ideas, different experiences, but also a commonality in terms of curiosity about the world, in terms of how you share space. And I just feel so nourished on a social level that I was just able to go on this tour randomly from someone I met this morning, meet someone else on the tour, walk around with them and really vibe on a personal level. And to me, it just gives me so much joy to just share space with people, to be out in the world, to be curious, and to be expressing my ideas about my curiosities. And oh my god, like I feel good. Like I feel good, and it's why I love traveling, it's why I love curiosity, it's why like travel reminds me how I should live normally. And it's kind of bad in a way, because sometimes I think like, oh, in the US in my normal life, like why don't I just talk to random people? But there is like a double consciousness at play, like when you're in environments like I was in Columbus, where you're hanging out with people, and I wasn't in like always in predominantly black or POC spaces, and you feel weird just opening up to people, talking to them, and wondering like, what are you getting from me? Why do you want to talk to me? Like, is this some kind of extractive experience? And I haven't felt that today at all. So I'm grateful, and I'm gonna take the bus back. I'm looking for C6, I believe, or maybe I'm just reading the number on my phone wrong. But I'm gonna find this bus, and if there's more to do today, I'll catch you up on it. But I'm gonna head back to my house. I woke up early, and I leave Lyon today, and I woke up feeling a little tired, kind of like, what do I want to do? And all I'm really holding myself to is the fact that I'm in this place, I'm here for a few more hours. I'm supposed to check out at noon. My bus is at 6, so I'm probably gonna head to the bus around 3 p.m. and maybe hang out at a hostel my last 3 hours. But for now, I just wanted to get up, walk around. It's a 20-minute walk to the older part of the Lyon. So I've decided to just walk there, maybe find a boulangerie, or patisserie, boulangerie, and get some pastries. So I'm enjoying the last bits of Lyon that I have. And yeah, I mean, there's this really cute guy at the hostel that I kept noticing, and yesterday he sat down next to me, and I saw him reading some stuff, and I was like, oh, are you a writer? And he isn't, but he's a dancer that is married to a black American, and they both live in Paris. And I'm like, do I have a type? So it was frustrating but good, because even this morning I was talking to him more about the black roots of jazz and how he's studying the black roots of jazz a little bit and is incorporating that into his thesis. So it's also just nice to meet cool people. Like, God. Wow. Oh my god. I'm like, oh my god, French kids play here? Oh my god, this is just a cute little park, and I can't handle it! Okay, onward, onward, onward. What I like about Lyon are just how narrow each of the sections of the city are. Like, there's Lyon in the middle, and there's the two different sides of it, and then there's the two sort of rivers that cut between those 3 sections, and it's really beautiful to just walk along one section and see the water and see the bridges. This behind me is the oldest boulangerie in Lyon, and I kind of walked this direction hoping I'd find it, but I actually did, so I'm gonna go in and get some pastry. Oui. I got the pastries. So, pain au chocolat. It's flaky, buttery. I think one thing I love about French breakfast culture, j'adore une chose j'adore de petit déjeuner en français et petit. Tu prends 1, 2, 3 croissants et noisettes. Voilà, c'est bon. It's 5 a.m. I just got off of my bus. It was an 11-hour bus ride, and I got to my hostel. But I don't think check-in is until 3 p.m., so I am not sure. So it's early and I have time until I check into my hostel, meaning like 7 hours. So I'm just gonna head into Venice and see what kind of food I can find, and first I have to bus. I want to eat some good food. I want to walk around. I just want to vibe, because honestly, I know by the time I check into my hostel, I'm probably going to be tired as fuck. But we'll see. First agenda of the day is to find a little bit of breakfast. There's a place I looked up a little bit earlier called Dolce Vita, Sweet Life, and they're supposed to have really good espresso, and croissants, other pastries, so let's see if we can find it. So far, I like the vibe of showing up here really early. Church bell. Look at that. I like places where you literally have to do nothing more than walk around and be confused, and it's still fucking amazing. And I literally don't really know how I'm gonna find where I need to go. But it's a part of the fun. But I'm also curious, because I feel like Venice, I'm like, is this a city where most people like stay in Venice because I'm staying outside of Venice? Or is this a city where people like know their way around? Because wherever I am, everything is closed. And maybe because I think it's because it might be so early. Like maybe most places open up at lunch, but I am not sure at all. I hope that Venice would be a fucking perfect place to do an artist residency. Ooh, what are those?
Uncle Steve, if I know the thing that and I said I wanted to
for tomorrow, just because it's great to walk around a place and vibe and get a sense of the environment, which I love, but it's also good to get a sense of the history, which I literally have no idea. And walking around, you can definitely tell that everything is old, that, like people say, this city won't be around for a very long time because the water levels are rising, which is a part of the reason that I really wanted to come here. And so it's really beautiful and special to walk around when it's quiet. And I also think I got here really early, because I don't know much about when European businesses open, but I think a lot of these businesses, from when I'm passing by, a lot of them open at 9, 10:30, noon. So I might honestly walk back towards the way that I came and check out a few spots and get some pasta, get an Aperol Spritz, and maybe get a little drunk before I head back. It's just so beautiful. Famous fish market. I'm not gonna go in because the smell of fish makes me nauseous. That's it. And Wi-Fi? Okay. Hey, don't judge me, but I've literally never had an Aperol Spritz before, so this is the first sip. I like it. Mmm. Ooh. So I just finished drinking 2 Aperol Spritz. I did some reading, and now I'm just gonna wander around aimlessly because I don't really have anything to do until I need to check into my hostel. So let's do that. I really wanted that shirt, but I just couldn't. I can't tell you why, but I just couldn't, so I walked away. I walked away, even though I wanted it. Okay, I got some gelato. I got lime and vanilla. Ah, and it's so good. Oh my god. And I know this gelato is good because you can see the bits of lime in there. Like, I don't know if you can see that. So I'm sitting down near the beginning of Venice and I'm definitely losing steam. That gelato, oh my god, I'm gonna be thinking about that for years to come because it was definitely the best gelato I've ever had. And a thought that I have is that I definitely think a touristic strategy of Venice is that you get lost inside. Like, it's hard to figure out what bridge to cross and what street to take. And so the longer you're in there, the more you're just like, oh, that looks good, let me try that. Or, oh, what about that store? Oh my god, like, what about that? Like, I found myself doing that a lot, which I love. Like, I love getting kind of lost. I love, like, finding random really good food. I love stuff that's reasonably priced. And I was really surprised to find all of those things. And now it's getting more crowded, and I definitely would like to see it in the evening, but I don't know if that's going to be today. And tomorrow I sign up for a walking tour that's at 11 a.m. And so I'm kind of thinking that I might just relax the rest of the day, honestly, because walking around and getting lost, like, it's only fun up until a certain point, and I'm starting to feel like I'm in Morocco where I'd get lost and I'd be really fucking stressed. So I'm gonna head back, maybe get some coffee, and figure out what I want to do the rest of the day.
I treni potranno subire ritardi, variazioni di hotel Limito Milano-Lambanate.
Okay, so some updates. Today's been the last day, proves that solo travel is fun, but it's also fucking difficult. My laptop is broken. I spilled liquid on it. I was gonna go to Crema today, but there's a train strike that's until 3 a.m. So any train that I could have taken today to get to my Airbnb to stay there overnight isn't possible. As far as I've been able to ask, there aren't any buses to Crema. And I just bought a ticket that cost more than getting there and coming back on the train routes that I had before to get back to Venice today, because I'm just going to go back to my hostel and see if it's possible for me to book or get my Airbnb moved to tomorrow night and then go to Crema tomorrow and stay there overnight and then try to come back to Venezia in time to take my train to Naples, which all seems very complicated, but I really wanted to go to Crema. My other option is to shift around going to Naples, like see if I can change my train to go to Naples for like a day later and then see if I can spend more time in Crema. But just shows that things go wrong, you gotta keep your head on straight. I'm upset about my laptop, but there's nothing I can fucking do. So I have about an hour to wait for my train to get back to Venezia, and okay, this journey to Crema is going a lot smoother. After this next train, I have one more train to take, and I'm just so fucking happy that this is working. I'm so excited to get to this Airbnb. I'm excited to drink some coffee. I'm excited to sit around. I'm excited to drink wine. I'm excited to, I don't know if I can drink at the bar that was in the movie Call Me By Your Name, but I'm going to try to, and I'm gonna develop an idea, and I'm gonna talk about it more later when I get to Crema, but travel stubbornness. When things go wrong, yes, you're allowed to feel like shit. Yes, you're allowed to process. Yes, you're allowed to cry. Yes, you're allowed to be like, I have privilege, I'm traveling. But you're also allowed to be like, bitch, I'm about to do this shit. And that's what today is about. That's what the rest of this trip is about. My laptop may or may not be broken. I'm gonna figure out later, but we're getting to Crema. So, see you when I get there. Oh, no. This beer is called Birra Moretti. I have an hour until my next train. It's the last train to Crema. This past day has been a lot, and I think solo travel is great, but it's also really easy to romanticize it. It's really easy to see other people doing it online and think, oh, like it's so easy, it's fun, and oh my god. Okay, we're gonna check in later, but cheers. When people see people solo traveling, they think it's really easy, it's really fun. They think, how do you get all the money to do this? And I'm gonna do a video at the end of this trip where I do like a summer 2022 travel recap, where I break down what my plans were, what I spent, how I saved money, what my expectations of places were, how those places actually fit, whether or not I think I should have stayed as long as I did in a lot of the places that I was at. Not cute part of solo traveling where I landed. It's at least a 25-minute walk to my Airbnb and I have these bags and I'm about halfway there. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. And the check-in isn't until 5. It's 3:30. But if I get there at 4, I can drop my bags off, get a bike, and then just ride around for a little bit. Maybe ride into the center and then ride back that way. But oh yeah, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. I don't exercise, but I'm proud of myself because I'm not gonna complain. I made it. And here is my cute little bike, and they left me a note. Oh my God. We made it. We made it. Okay, we're gonna take a little bike ride and check out the plaza that is heavily featured in the movie. It's Piazza Roma? Crema Piazza Duomo. So we're gonna check out Piazza Duomo. Okay, we're in Piazza Duomo, and behind me is one of the scenes from Call Me By Your Name. Okay, so now I think I understand. This plaza is where that scene is where Oliver and Elio are eating at that table at the beginning, and then Oliver says later, and then he rides off, and Elio's kind of like, what the hell? Like, I thought we were gonna hang out more. It's in this plaza, because that sign over there says original table and chairs here. So I think they set it up here to make it look like it was a cafe in a certain area that looked a certain way, but there are actually cafes over there in that direction.
So what do you do around here?
Read books.
Ooh, that's strong. Ooh. Oh. Okay, I'm sitting here and they basically give you these like little snacks to go with your meat, with your drinks, and this looks like little tiny grilled cheeses, or like the cheese looked melted. It's just like little sandwiches, and this time they gave me some chips. I think it's because the drink I got, which is a mojito, is just €2 more than the Aperol Spritz, but honestly, I'm fine just hanging out here and continuing to get more drinks because I've wanted a moment like this where I just sit and just keep drinking. Okay, I'm not a biker by any means, so I took a little break here. I'm just having a moment to realize, like, I know I came here because of Call Me By Your Name and Andre Asimov and because it was filmed here, but even just biking around and being in this random-ass Italian town, I'm appreciative of doing new things by myself, to prove new things to myself, to prove, like, yes, I'm tired as fuck, yes, my legs hurt, yes, I'm taking a break, but I'm also happy because look at this fucking sky, this sunset. It's just like... This is amazing. It's amazing. And I'm only a little bit drunk! Ah! Just that bike ride here, coming back and watching the sky, like that let me know that this trip here was worth it, because when I travel, there are singular moments that kind of define and make the whole trip worth it. And knowing that I came here on my own accord, that I came here because I loved a piece of media, this book, this movie, that I wanted this trip to kind of reassure myself, to remind myself that I could do things, that I came here, took this long ass walk here, that I'm gonna have to do it again in the morning. And to ride a bike around when I haven't ridden a bike literally in years. Like, I know how to ride a bike, but it's like, I don't fucking like riding bikes. But doing it today, I was just kind of like, I did it. And like, if I do it more, I can honestly, like, be good at it. And just to have this moment for myself is such a beautiful thing. I'm grateful. Okay, I'm literally leaving Crema right now. I'm packing all my stuff. I have a story time to tell you about last night before we leave, but I'm leaving this Airbnb a little early because they're giving me a ride way closer to the train station. Thank fucking God. But I'm about to pack. But we'll talk in a little bit. We're at a cafe and I have a few things to talk about. Yesterday Alright, so this is the end of my Crema vlog. I said I would give you an update about what happened last night and what I did and my thoughts about Crema. So last night I got back to where I was staying at my Airbnb. It's actually a bed and breakfast and it's owned by this couple that was really nice, and I met them, and the guy in the couple actually gave me a ride here this morning so I could avoid having to walk super far. So I'm early for my train, but I'm glad to be here because it's literally a 5-minute walk to where I need to go. But yesterday I got back to my room, and one of my goals for this trip was to just do more things, put myself out there more, which means like dating, Grindr, things like that. And so I check Grindr pretty much every place I go to, and someone messaged me yesterday, and we'll just call him Crema guy. And this guy messaged me and he asked me like what I would be open to doing, and I said, honestly, I like when people from a place show me their local spots. And so he said, want to go on a night walk? And so we met up and we walked around, and I don't know, it's like things like this where I'm like, is God listening? He lived in South America for a while. He was a journalist there. He also loves film, and he helped work on part of the Call Me By Your Name film. And so he was able to show me spots in the plaza that I didn't know about. Like, he showed me the door where Elio goes to find Oliver after they have their like night together. But I got back to my Airbnb, and what I really appreciated was that it was just such a wholesome evening. Like, we talked a lot, we learned a lot about each other. I don't necessarily think it was a romantic or sexual vibe, but it was really nice to meet someone from here and to understand more of the local context. Like, he talked a lot about how Call Me By Your Name has brought a lot of tourism and economy to Crema, because even when I got here, the train station is like basically completely being renovated, and he was saying like for 50 years it's been that way, and he thinks it's good for functionality for it to change. And so I just thought it was interesting in that way. And he talked a lot about how it's difficult to grow up queer here, and how he hopes that when tourism, like he feels that tourism is going to change again in the next 5 years to not be as much around the movie. And so he hopes that Crema is able to find other ways to bring money in, to shift the economy. And it was just such a beautiful, wholesome night. And I feel like there are days where I have moments where an entire trip seems worth it, and yesterday was definitely one of those days, because I came here on my own accord and I got to enjoy all these things, and I'm really happy that I came here. And my camera's gonna die, so that's it for this Crema vlog. Let me know, like, I expected to come here and see all these movie spots, and then I forgot, film locations are all over. So I'm glad I got to see Piazza Duomo, and I'm glad I got to relax, I'm glad I got to have a few drinks, I'm glad I got to make a new friend that honestly I'll keep up with, and he gave me an Italian copy of Call Me By Your Name. Like, that's the other thing that like really softened my heart. I was just like, now I gotta learn Italian. Oh my god. But Crema. Now I have to go to Napoli, and it's gonna be a little bit stressful because when I land in Venice, at the station I'm at, I have 15 minutes to get to my bus. Like, I thought I was taking a train to Napoli. No, it's a bus. So, thank you for watching again, and stay tuned for more European adventures. we've made it to Naples. I'm staying at Trick Track Hostel. It's actually kind of in a pretty central area, which is nice. And it's about 4 floors. It has an upstairs balcony. It was nice when I got in yesterday because there was a free pasta night, so I got to eat like 2 plates of really good pasta. And I met some other travelers, people in their early 20s who are traveling, and it's actually one of their birthdays today, so I might hang out with them later. I might also link up with a friend of a friend that I was connected to here. But of all the hostels, this is probably vibe-wise my favorite. I did like the one in Lyon, but I like how centrally located this one is. Like, it's pretty amazing. Like, there's the Michelin star rated pizzeria that was in Eat, Pray, Love, and that's like a 15-minute walk from here. But I'm just kind of taking a slow morning because I don't really feel the need to rush. And I want to get to Da Michel, that pizzeria, right before it opens, which opens at 11, so I can avoid some of the crowds, but it's beautiful. Right here, there's lots of really cute shops, but I think up here I'm gonna make a left.
Ma che buio stasera.
Literally just checked it out over there, and there's already like 12 plus people in line. I am now waiting because I'm hungry, so I'm probably gonna just go to this place across the street, or maybe somewhere else. Ordered capricosa pizza, which is tomatoes, mozzarella, mushroom, and artichoke, and Aperol Spritz because I'm on vacation.
Mi viene una gran voglia di chiamarla. Luna!
Oh my god.
Magari si affaccia. Sarebbe bello, no? Tu la chiami e lei si affaccia.
So that lunch was really good. The pizza hit the spot. Realized I don't love mushrooms, I don't love the texture, but the pizza was good. It was only €8. The Aperol Spritz was honestly one of the most refreshing ones that I've ever had, and I almost wanted to get another. And I got a little coffee to go, and now I'm just kind of heading back in the direction of my hostel. I'm not really looking at the GPS, but I know I'm walking in the general direction. I just kind of want to walk around some neighborhoods here and see what it's like. To get closer because it looks beautiful. I really do love these solo days of traveling where today I just told myself, I was like, I want to do 1 or 2 or 3 things. I don't care if I'm only here for 2 days. I'm not trying to rush all over the city, see all these museums. I'm just trying to catch the vibe, and I feel like that's honestly, if I could just describe my travel personality, it's definitely just catching the vibe. Like, I just like walking, drinking water, appreciating things. When I had pizza earlier, the waiter winked at me, and it wasn't like, I don't think it was a flirtatious wink in any way, but my heart stopped because I want more men to wink at me because, whew, it gets me riled up. It gets me riled up. Okay, I didn't know, but to enter this castle over here, you have to register online. And I'm not gonna do that. But I really enjoyed sitting by the water. Once again, it's moments like this where I'm traveling, I'm alone, I'm relaxing, and I feel really good. And I'm just remembering, like, oh, I'm on vacation. Like, I don't need to be doing a lot of shit. Like, I can just relax. No one's watching me. I'm here by myself. So I think I'm just gonna head back slowly to my hostel and maybe wash off and figure out what I maybe want to do for dinner, or maybe a few more drinks in the hostel upstairs. But I'm also getting drinks at 7, so I have time. Woo, we're heading home. I'm tired. It's my last day in Venice. I don't know how much I feel like vlogging, because honestly, today is a relaxation day. It's a do whatever the fuck I want day. But right now I'm heading to get pizza, because I need to get another pizza. Grazie. Ciao. Okay, right now I'm in Quattro Spagnoli. Forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. It's a really creative neighborhood. Ooh, they have Long Island's here? And there's a lot of these kinds of murals and paintings and things around.
At the end of July this year, I went to London at the end of a European 2-month trip. I visited new friends, I followed them around for a couple of days, went to birthday parties, went to bars, got to go out with them and get to know them. And these kind of memories are my favorite travel memories. Dropping into a new place and getting to know another person's way of life, even if it's just for a few days. So please enjoy the last of my summer 2022 travel memories.
So I'm in London. It's a friend of a friend's birthday. I'm feeling good. It's good to be in a new place. It's good to be social. It's good to meet friendly people doing all kinds of important, creative, interesting things. And it's another one of those moments where I'm just like, you get to slide into other people's lives and to totally insert yourself and have fun. And it's just a beautiful day. It's honestly such a beautiful day. Is this better light? I'm about to have another beer. We've had some wine, some cherries. These cherries are okay. I feel like they're getting warm and they're leaking, and I gotta find them more.
Can you read the speaker? No? Ah, sure. You're being fucking tick now.
And an update. I am leaving my friend's house and I'm meeting up with another friend from college. A very special friend that I was tight with in college, and even more so, we lived near each other in Seattle, and so we got really close there. And she actually got married to a Brit, so she lives here now, and she's living in... can't even tell you. But yeah, it's nice to travel, it's nice to meet up with people. As for yesterday, I had fun at that little birthday hangout. We went to like 2 bars after. We went to this classic type pub, got some beers, and then we went to a jazz club, which was really cool, really small, just really a vibe, really crowded. And that was good. And then we tried to go to this place called Karaoke Hole. Couldn't get in. I was really upset. And then we went to one of the friends in the group's house and just hung out, drank. Actually, I was out until like Oh, car. Actually, I was out until about, I didn't go to bed till 7 a.m. So it's about 1 p.m. now, and I'm just keeping the train moving. Okay, so I'm reading this book called Afro-European. It's by Johnny Pitts, and it's really good. It's a collection of different pieces about this author who's Black and European going to different cities around Europe. On Paris, I've read the one on Marseille, I've read the one on Saint Paul de Vence. It's actually like pretty interesting. I like it because each of the essays are kind of really sort of entryways into like some of the histories of these places and the Black perspective. And this Berlin chapter is talking about him going to Berlin, exploring the city, and then stumbling upon this rally that at first to him feels like it's a skinhead rally, but it's actually an anti-fascist rally. And he talks about his level of unease with the lack of people of color in the crowd and the lack of Black people. And then he kind of goes into the history of different fascists or Nazi-motivated killings in Berlin, and how there's kind of a distinction between the killings of people that are like white European and people that are like Black, POC. And so I appreciate reading at least this chapter because it's highlighting some of that discomfort in some of those spaces. I'm excited to read more of this. It's pretty good. I recommend checking it out. Okay, so right now I am in Manchester visiting family, and I'll tell you more about why I'm here later. I haven't vlogged like the last week or so because I was in London and I honestly wanted to take a vlogging break, and I wanted to just hang out, be there, experience things. But I'm here visiting family, and right now I'm working on a craft lecture that I have to do in 2 months, and I just kind of want to make some progress because I have notes, but I kind of want to get more of the slides down and do more research. But I've never been to Manchester before. It's cute. I haven't been out much. I'm hanging out at my family's house. I'm having coffee. There's 2 cats here. But this is the very end of my trip, and it's wild that I've been gone for 2 months. I'm looking at my budget. I'm kind of like, ooh. But I'm living life, so I'm happy. I don't have a laptop because I broke it in Italy. Working on this craft lecture for a few hours, and I haven't made that much progress because I'm kind of getting back into the project. But one thing I really enjoy about this process is that it's giving me a lot of room to articulate things that I was doing and thinking about and analyzing when I was writing my book. How do you look at memory and all of its utilities in media and fiction and nonfiction? And so I'm like breaking down some films that I love, like Titanic, Call Me By Your Name, 500 Days of Summer, and looking at how memory is used as a narrative tool, as an emotional tool, as kind of a philosophical tool. And it's something that I think is really interesting because when I share my fiction with people, one thing that they say a lot is that I'm really good at kind of taking a current moment and bringing it back to a previous memory and kind of using that memory to contextualize what's happening in the present. And I feel like it's such a useful skill to have because when you're experiencing something in the present, you're either often thinking about the future or how it reminds you of the past. And to me, like how we remember things, how we frame them, how we tell people about our memories, how we tell ourselves about our memories, it's all a way of expressing ourselves. And so to me, it's just super fascinating and interesting and beautiful to kind of explain these bits and pieces of how I explore these things in my writing. but I want to see what my thesis is at the end. So that's just kind of a side note for now, but I think soon me and my aunt are gonna head out and maybe just explore town a little bit. I don't know if the trains are working. Train workers might be on strike, and the bus takes a long time.
This is the northern service to Liverpool Lyon Street.
And like they just ask you about your health journey and the healthcare system.
So who took the photos?
The next stop will be simple.
So where are we at again?
Media City.
Media City?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like news outlets here.
Yes, yeah. BBC, ITV, and even BBC Children's Studios. Yeah.
Oh, with that lime? Reminds me of soju. I drink a lot of soju. Oh my god. Yeah, there are some, like, you go to the bar and bottle after bottle after bottle of soju. So I just will get so hungover and it tastes. Like, I can't drink it every day. Like, I could ruin it.
So we took the bus to Piccadilly, and now we're going to visit one of my cousins who just had a baby, and after I think we're going to check out a few thrift stores. Why not?
Right now we're at Thrift Shop Manchester. And you can buy stuff here by the color. Bedazzle. I like these. I like the bedazzling feature, and I feel like the shape of these make me think they're really gonna work. So let's got my pair of jeans. Time to go.
But the date is July 23rd, and my trip is done tomorrow. I leave tomorrow to fly to Iceland, and then I fly from Iceland. No, I leave tomorrow to fly from Iceland to Copenhagen. I don't know. I leave tomorrow to fly from Manchester to Copenhagen, Copenhagen to Iceland, Iceland to Baltimore. And then from there, I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do. It's the end of my trip, and it's wild. It's unbelievable. I'm definitely the kind of traveler where I plan things, I get excited, I want to challenge myself, and then when the moment arrives, like at the beginning of this month when I was starting my solo travels, I was like really nervous And not in like an exceedingly way, but I was just really nervous and thinking like, am I gonna get lonely or am I gonna make friends? And always at the end of a trip, I'm like, what the hell was I nervous about? Like, I was the most friendly version of myself. I met cool people. I connected with people. I feel and felt, where's one of my earrings? Really grateful to have had this trip. I'm really grateful to have spent this time with myself because it's really just given me a confidence that I feel like living in Ohio has kind of somewhat stripped a little bit away at, because living in a place like Ohio can be great if you're straight. I might go to a pub later. I'm gonna try and put on like a really cute outfit. And then tomorrow I leave my flight is at 7 p.m. I'm basically traveling for a whole day. Like, it's gonna be rough.
Yeah, Louis stands out.
Just saw a bunch of photos of my dad, and some of them were when he was 23, some of them were from the year that I was born, like reading journal entries of his from the month that I was born in. It's just a lot to never know someone and to know that you're going to spend the entire rest of your life finding these artifacts of this person that you're never going to know. And I'm glad I got to see these things. It's just hard. It's hard. And it's weird to think that I'm older now than he was in some of those photos, because when I was younger, he was always frozen in my mind as older. In 5 years, I'm gonna be his age, the age that he was when he passed away. And I don't feel this deep sense of mortality around it. I don't feel like I'm gonna die at that age. And I think it's a part of the reason why I've lived the life in the way that I have, where I know people don't have all the time in the world. I know people aren't perfect. I know people can hurt people and they can mean a lot to other people. And that's life. And so I think seeing these things, I'm really grateful to have more things to remember by. Yeah, that's what she was telling me, like he used to be real quiet and observant, and she said she's kind of the same way. And yeah.
Your memory gets in the way of my memory is what the Kashmiri American poet Agha Shahid Ali once wrote. This means I stumble upon some strange and unexpected truth about my father. That truth gives him weight. The weight coupled with the silence becomes unbearable.
That beer wasn't even cold.
Okay, we left the last bar we were at, had a few brews, and now we're heading to the Vietnamese restaurant.
The one we were just at, the
Oh,
pub.
it's cool. It's cool. And just to find out they do dart, you can play dart games there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the last day of my trip. Honestly, visiting family at the end has been wild. Because honestly, in the last day, I've just had like boom, 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 big existential crisis. Because I feel like the inner child in me is always kind of cautious when I meet new family. And granted, things could always change. They could always stay the same. And so I'm just really grateful that this is kind of the marker of the end of my trip. And it just kind of represents all of these other experiences I've had where I'm like, I've met a lot of really cool people. A lot of people have shown me love. And it's kind of like my friend Ashunda from the artist residency I did said, like when we were in St. Paul de Vence. I mean, I'm really gonna think about it this way, but she said, yeah, oh, that's kind of a cute top. Okay, never mind. She said, you don't meet any strangers. But if this is the end of this vlog, thank you for watching. Everything is packed. It's time to go. 2 months of traveling, done. Time check. It is 11:55 a.m. As you can see. This flight was the cheapest I could find, and it was $300. And it involves this layover. And I want to be the kind of bitch that's like, I wonder if this lounge, I wish these lounges were like open 24/7. I am kind of tired. Ugh. We're in Iceland. I've been here for about 2 hours. I have about 3 hours until my last flight. It's the last one. And it's about 7 hours. It's a 7-hour flight, which I can handle. I feel like I'm probably going to sleep on it again, hopefully. Which means that I'll probably have a late night, but we'll see. Long layovers are weird. Because you kind of reach this point where your brain turns to mush. You don't really know what to watch anymore, what to intake anymore. I guess I can watch more YouTube, but I don't want to. But yeah. Money. Gotta save money though. I had a tragic time making it on the train yesterday, and I felt like I wanted to give up. But I told myself, I'm in God's hands. And I made it here 2 hours later. And now we're going to an Amish market. I'm hoping to eat something like crispy with meat in it.
Someone just barely made it.
Oh God. Like they sprayed? Describe Philly in 5 words.
5 words. Eclectic. Strong. Little unfiltered.